In this video, I'm going to discuss how to convert viewers into buyers or subscribers into buyers. It's a very simple process, but it takes time to do that. And quickly, let me say this. You have to start this process as early as possible, where you convert viewers into buyers as quickly as possible. Like even in your first video, you have to start it so that there's a system that works behind the scenes to convert those viewers into customers or buyers for you as quickly as possible. So let's get into the video. There are three key things that you need to pay attention to, which is one, the pain points of your customers. What are their pain points? Two, the solution that you have for them. Three, trust, building trust. So these are the three main things that you need to deal with so you can just convert that viewer into a buyer. So we're going to break these things down in this video. I can deal with any of them first, but I would want to tackle trust, which is the most important key, the key that holds everything together. I want to tackle trust first so that everything else would make sense. Now, let's look at it this way. A viewer or a subscriber or anybody who comes across your video can be, just like a friend you met or an acquaintance you met. Obviously, it's an acquaintance because they just came across your channel. They don't know who you are. They haven't met you before and all that kind of stuff. So you have to look at it the same way in real life. When you meet someone, what are the things that build trust between you and that person so that they can in the future now visit your home, they can meet your family, they can even go into your house without you, that is trust. That is a level of trust where it takes time to build. It's the same as YouTube. How do we build trust on YouTube? Because people are on YouTube to either have some entertainment or to be educated, to gain value out of something. But mostly people come to YouTube to study, to learn, to get some value. So the way to build trust with your viewers and your followers, your subscribers, and convert them into buyers is to make sure that there is value in everything you put out. The content you put out is teaching them something, is pushing them towards their goal. Every day they watch a content from you, they should learn something. They should pick up an idea that they can implement immediately, or with time, they can reach their goals. Viewers being converted to buyers has nothing to do with numbers. If the numbers are good, yes, fine, you have more conversion rates. But there are channels that have done less than 1,000 subscribers and are doing good business. So it is really not about the numbers. It's about how valuable your content is and how do they trust that this man, because of the content he puts out, or this woman, because of the content she puts out, she has the ability to solve my problem or to help me deal with my pain points. So I would trust this person and maybe pay for whatever they are selling or whatever they are teaching. I'm going to, move from a viewer to a buyer. I'm going to buy their digital project or product. I'm going to buy their picture frame, I'm going to order their service, I'm going to do these things that they are selling. You know, that is where everything comes from. The value you give week in, week out. At this point in my career as a business owner, I am not in a rush to turn everybody into a buyer. I mean, everybody likes that, but that is just for a few people. A few people are lucky to turn these things quickly. But for the majority of people, it takes time because you need to build that trust. If you, back to the analogy as, meeting an acquaintance or a friend or a new friend, when you meet somebody for the first time and they just, yo, I have this thing that I'm selling, and if you get it, it will help you, it will do everything for you, it will make you, become rich quick, you won't trust that person. No matter what value they are giving you, you won't trust them because it's too soon. You don't know the person. You need to understand who they are and understand their integrity if they are really who they are. So it takes time. It's the same as YouTube. You need to take your time to give people value. Make sure they come to your channel all the time, and whatever they listen to, whatever they watch, it's something that's going to add up into their own journey. So building trust is one of the key things that you need to work on every single time. Value, value, value. Gary Vee has a book that's, talks about this, or Gary Vee himself talks about this all the time, talking about jab, jab, right hook and all that. So it means that you jab as in you give people value. You give people value a long time before you ask for anything or before you give them anything to buy. That is the best way to, build trust. But on YouTube, I mean, it doesn't mean that when you are building trust, you shouldn't have your systems in place, because trust is built on different acceleration levels. You can meet someone with, one video and they will trust you. Somebody would have to go through your whole playlist before they trust you. So with that in mind, you don't have to also leave your marketing or your sales avenues closed because you don't know who is ready to buy and who is not. So what I mean is, for me, I have my community already set up where I want to bring in my viewers and people who are interested in working with me. I have a community already set up, even though this is a new channel. It is already set up because you don't know what YouTube is going to bring your way. So you have to be ready. So I have a community set up. I'm not selling anything, but I know that I want to have a community where we can engage on the things that we like and the kind of ideas that we want to share. There's a community where we can do it. I have a link in the description where you can join the community. I'm still building it. I'm still figuring things out and making it perfect. So that is something that I've already built and made ready. You need to make sure these things are already set up just in case. I also have my business where if anybody wants to work with me, the business is already running. I'm not now building the business. I had a business before I came onto YouTube. After trust, which is the most important thing you need to work on. I mean, if you can take months to build the trust, I think that converting your viewers into buyers would be easier when the time comes to ask. So please take your time to work on the trust. Make sure there is value in your content every time, every day, every episode. it gives value. I'm just saying that is the key thing you should focus on. The sales will automatically come. So after the trust is built, we can now look at the pain point of the viewer. What are people trying to solve? What problems are they trying to solve? For my viewers, I know most of them want to also build, or most of you want to also build a YouTube channel, and you want to follow a process where you know this already works. I'm not in the process of now trying to figure it out. I want somebody to help me to get it to the finish line. Let me get this done. Let me get this YouTube thing figured out. So that is why some of you, I think a majority of you, would be on this video. But for the few people who are also in a different pain point where maybe they are here for my picture framing business, they want to work with me, they want to get their homes decorated with picture frames, they want to tell a story on their walls, that kind of stuff, or an institution who wants to work with me to get their graduation processes, streamlined and all that, the photography and the framing, all those things put in order, and getting that service from one provider. That is something that I know some of my audience is here for, that kind of content. They want to just work with me. It's not really about building a channel for them. That's also fine. So everybody would have a bit of their solution from my content. So if you address the pain points where, like I just did, if you address the pain points of your viewers in every video, or you make sure you get to a certain kind of audience at every video. Let me explain. Like, I can't always address my audience in every video with their pain point, but as you make the content, you need to have that in mind, that you are addressing something that will benefit them. You might not say it out loud, but you need to know before you start your video that this is going to address this for my audience. This video is going to help you convert viewers into buyers. That is what the pain point is, converting viewers into buyers. So that brings us to the third point, which is solutions. All right. So you have to, in doing all these things, you have to actually have a solution. You have to actually have a solution. It's not about just talking and not delivering. You don't have to say things you cannot do. And once you do that for a while, people will figure it out. There are a lot of people on YouTube selling things that don't work. If you've been on YouTube for a while, you would know. People who say they can get you from a 0 to 1 million. But they've done nothing. They've only sold things to people, digital products to people, to just look at or to read, and that is how they make their money. They never actually built anything. That is that is some kind of solution, but that won't last. That won't last. That is literally a scam artist, and you need to make sure you don't fall into that category of people or content creators. You need to make sure that whatever you do provides solution, real solution. It's a solution that I know would solve your pain. It's just a matter of trusting that, okay, you know me enough to give me that contract. You know me enough to let me deal with that pain for you. That is one. Also, you know that, okay, this YouTuber is using YouTube to fuel his business. I'm also a business owner. You are also a business owner. I want to do the same. He is doing it. I want to do the same. So he can teach me how to do it. You have a brick and mortar business. You have a business, maybe a business idea you want to start. But you know, okay, this person has done it or he's doing it and it's working for him. So he might know something that you don't know. And he's willing to teach you those things. And this is even one of it, giving it out for free. How to convert viewers into buyers. I'm giving it out for free. I know that, you know, free information is tricky because people feel, oh, I don't have to give out my information for free. I don't have to, you know, share my ideas or my solutions, how I run my business and how I do things. I don't have to share it because people will steal it. People would, you know, replicate it. Well, that is very true. But the people who have the time to replicate it are not your clients. They are not your clients. And there's nothing wrong with helping people also build a business. There's so much room for all of us to do well. And that is something that, if you are in that kind of mindset, you should clear it out of your mind. You know, the sky is big enough for all of us to feed off. So if I give my business tricks or I share ideas, I share lessons, I share practices or processes that I use online, it doesn't mean that I'll be out of business. It doesn't mean that. Maybe I'm helping a new business owner to learn something that will help them. But the few people who are my clients, they might not have the time to do that. They might not. If you are an institution, let's say you have a school or a university, you're a university, you want to contract me to produce frames for your graduation ceremony. That person watching the video right now who is at the university cannot do the frames and do it as good as we do. Or even if a new business person, somebody who wants to also start a frame business, sees this video and wants to do the same thing, they do not have the credibility that I have. They do not have the years of experience that I have. They do not have the equipment that I have to build. There are so many things that make it just unrealistic to be protecting information, whilst you can help the world be a better place by sharing. Because whatever I'm doing on this YouTube is to make sure my younger self would have it faster, would have it easier. Because if I had someone like this on YouTube who was teaching me how to build my business 7 years ago, I'm sure I would have cut out, say, 5 years of all the struggle and try and error and all this kind of experimenting to get to this year. You know, so my whole idea is to give that value I didn't get to everyone who is interested. So that is what it is. Give the solution out for free. Give it out for free. Share content for free. Just give so that the world becomes a better place. Those who are struggling to even find something to eat, those who are struggling to build their business, can implement the things you are saying and, you know, get a better business or do better a bit. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't have a problem with that. If you are a YouTube business owner, if you are a framing business, whatever, and you want to take something from this channel, like, oh, that is very good. I'll be proud that I taught you something and you used it and it worked, you know. But it doesn't mean that I will not get direct business. Trust me, you would, because the people listening to me can hear the sincerity in my voice and they know. I mean, if you check my record, you know that I do this for a living. So there's no competition here. So if you want to call me, I mean, if you want to speak to me on a service that we can provide for you, the link is in my description. You can book a consultation call and we'll get talking. So you also can join my community for free. Everything is for free. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Enjoy your day.